Hi, this is Don Solon, pastor at Fields of Grace Worship Center. We are a non-denominational church with a contemporary casual atmosphere. We are a church committed to reaching outside our walls while at the same time caring for those that call Fields of Grace home. Maybe you know Fields of Grace by all our community events. You are always welcome to come on over for a cup of coffee Sunday mornings and check us out at fieldsofgrace.org for service times.
Hi, I'm Ben Robinson with first week one of BuccsWeekly, and I'm with band director Jessica Moore to talk about the Band of Bucc Pride. And Jessica, your numbers are up this year. I see you have around 30 kids in the program.
We have 30 kids on the field this year for the first time in a long time, and it's a really good feeling. All the kids are pumped. It's nice to see everybody working together.
And you've been here since 2013. I think this is your 5th year.
That's right.
And when you first came here, the band, the numbers weren't really very good.
It was a struggle. We had the first team, my first year here, we just did a band in the stands because it was a struggle to find kids that were willing to commit and be interested, and it was kind of a late season start for us. The second year we put a group together. There were only 13 on the field, so we've grown quite a bit since then.
Okay, so how have you been able to increase interest in the band? Because I remember back in the day, I'm not going to say how old I am, but the band used to be huge, almost probably bigger than the football team. I mean, you had a lot of kids in the band, and it's kind of a tradition, the Band of Bucc Pride, having a large number, and you've been able to get those numbers up in a short period of time.
I think the biggest key is consistency. I haven't gone anywhere. We've had a lot of turnover in the past 10 years, but the last 5 has been very stable. So when kids see a consistent teacher, a consistent coach, they're able to buy into the overall program philosophy and continue on that path.
And what are some of the activities and things that you do to kind of increase interest and keep the kids interested in music?
I focus a lot at the junior high and 6th grade level. We're able to take the kids, every other year we've gone to see Ohio State University have their fall marching band concert, send kids to honor bands at OSU and some other surrounding areas. Every year we take the kids to Kings Island in the spring, and we fundraise for that. They play a little contest, so they get feedback and they keep getting better at playing, but they also get these little extrinsic rewards that really helps them see that there's other sides to this too.
And a lot of this has to be fairly expensive and cost some money. So how are you able to fund a lot of those things?
The music boosters do a great job with fundraising. We do some product sales here and there. We take donations. The district also hasn't ever said no to anything that they see that's good for kids. So they bought us some new equipment recently, which has been great. We accepted a lot of donations from the community here recently to go to Disney World this past spring. So it's been a team effort, and they do a great job.
Okay, so now you have the marching band, which they play at the football games, so what's the difference between the marching band and the pep band? And are the same kids involved in both programs?
Some of the kids overlap. Pep band plays at home varsity basketball games. We try to do a girls game. We do like one girls game and then 9 boys games, something like that. Marching band is specifically kids on the field at the football games. A lot of kids overlap, but some don't. Some just prefer marching band, some just prefer pep band because they don't want to be outside and moving around, whatever. I hardly ever say no. I don't turn anybody away that's really going to work. And allowing some kids to participate in pep band at a younger level has led to bigger numbers in the marching band because they play similar music. It's more fun. It's the stuff you hear on the radio or you can sing along to. So they get excited about that.
Okay, and what are some of the competitions that the band goes to? I mean, I know there used to be like state and all that. So what are some of the competitions, and how are they judged or awarded rankings?
Band of Bucc Pride competes on the Ohio Music Education Association contest circuit. We go out, our first weekend this year is September 30th at New Bremen. So we're going to play at New Bremen, we're going to play at Versailles, at Piqua, and at Tecumseh. Last year we finished 3rd place in our category, which was great because we beat schools that are 3 times as big as us. It was a huge moment for our little group. 3rd place, and we received an excellent rating. That's the second best that you can get. The best is the superior. They changed the judging recently over the past few years. There are 9 different judges in 7 different categories. So those kids are picked apart by judges in music, in percussion, specifically percussion, in something called general effect, like how all of the elements of our show fit together, visual effect, how well our drill, like the pictures we make on the field, match the music, and then visual performance, how well we actually perform all of that. And the tough thing to explain sometimes is that the judges, they're all very seasoned, very, very good at what they do. They're all teachers, you know, everybody's a music educator, but they don't have our music and they don't have our drill. So if we don't perform it just right, they're not gonna know what to evaluate.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tough. It's tough.
So there's a lot of work that's got to go into that. So when do you have all the kids together to start? Is that the beginning of the summer, or when do you start? Football has 2-a-days and all that other stuff. So.
We take June off because everybody needs some margin in their lives. And then the first week after the 4th of July, we start with music camp. We do 3-hour music camps for a week. So Monday through Friday, the kids are with me and we make sure that they begin to memorize and learn and really dig into the music we're gonna play for the season. The week after, it's 12-hour days. Band camp goes from 9 to 9 and they're out in the field and they're learning basics, which are our fundamentals, how we march, how we play, excuse me, how we move as a group. So it's 12 hours of fundamentals and setting drill, and then after that we go to 2 or 3 days a week to get ready for the fair.
12 hours a day, wow, that's
12 hours
a
a
commitment. Yeah, the Band of Bucc Pride with Jessica Moore, I mean, it's exciting, 30 kids. It's going to sound great at football games, come out to football games, and instead of going to the concession stand at halftime, wait and watch the band. Thanks, Jessica.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ron Sutherland, President of Covington Savings and Loan. We have been a part of the Covington and the surrounding community since 1886. We have been serving both savings and loan customers and help promoting home ownership. Stop by and talk with Jason for your lending needs or see Diane in Brooklyn for all your savings needs. Thank you for your continued support to help Covington Savings and Loan continue to support the Covington community.
FDIC approved. Color Green Photo offers a variety of photographic options for high school seniors, weddings, and families. We pride ourselves in providing creative and captivating images that have a special meaning to those we shoot. Please visit colorgreenphoto.com to view samples of our work and contact us at 937-418-0417 to schedule your next photo session.
Okay, welcome to week 1 of BuccsWeekly, the 2017 sports season. I'm here with 2 members of the boys golf team, junior Jack Shaw and senior Andrew Slusher, and they are already well into their season. All the other sports programs are getting ready to start their season, but they're already 4 matches in. They've played 2 tournaments so far and 2 league matches. So Jack, can you tell me how those went?
Well, in the first tournament we were 3rd to last or something, but it was a lot better than what we were expecting. And then the second tournament, we did about the same. But our first 2 league matches, we won both of them. We beat Bethel the first one, and the second one was National Trail.
Okay.
And Andrew was medalist at both of our league matches.
Okay, so Andrew, you're coming off of a big year last year where you were one of the top golfers in the conference, and being medalist in your first 2 league matches is pretty big. So just kind of where are you at in your season so far individually?
So far, I'm doing about the same as last year, probably a little bit better. Tied for first at the Dan Kidding Memorial, which is a big honor at a home tournament. Then I got tied for 4th at the Greenville Invite, which was a pretty big tournament. But overall, I think I'm doing pretty good starting out my senior year.
Okay, and so you have a lot of league matches coming up and more tournaments coming up. So what's the team's aspirations for the rest of the year, leading in to, of course, the league championship coming up? And is that at the end of September?
It is, yes. I think for the rest of the season, if we stay around where we are right now, we should be up close to the top teams in the CCC.
We always want to improve on our scores and everything, but they're getting lower, so that's a good thing.
And how many different courses have you guys seen so far this year?
3? I believe 3 different courses.
Yes.
Okay, so will you see, is it Stillwater where the league championships?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Will you play on that before the league championship?
We did a little preview kind of tournament to show how all the other teams are doing.
Okay, so that kind of helps you guys be familiar with the course.
Yep.
So
I
when
think
the
there's
league comes
also
in.
there's also a couple tournaments there as well.
Yes, I
And a couple
the
matches.
Stillwater invite or for sales invite playing in 2 weeks, I believe, which is also a big tournament.
Yeah.
Okay, so how are the rest of the guys coming along with and contributing with points to your team scores?
Some of the freshmen have been doing good.
Yeah, they've been stepping up.
Oh yeah, one was tied for second last match,
Yeah.
and all of them have been improving at least 5 to 10 strokes per match.
Well, that's great. So there's the 2 members of the boys golf team. It looks like they're doing well this year, and look forward to continued success throughout the rest of the year, and hopefully see some of these guys go on to districts and hopefully regionals and beyond.
Yeah.
So up next, we will have information on the Covington football team.
Covington Eagles does a lot for this school and this program. We need to give them some thanks. On 3, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Covington Eagles! Yeah!
Thank you, Covington Eagles! Thank you, Covington Eagles!
Thank you, Covington Eagles.
Thank you, Covington Eagles! Woo! Thank you, Covington Eagles, for all you do for Covington schools. Go Bucks! Woo!
This is Andy Johnson of Bucks Radio, the voice of Covington Buccaneers. Here to encourage Buccaneer fans to support local businesses. Your patronage of local businesses goes a long way in allowing them to continue to support Covington schools and Covington athletics.
Welcome back to Bucks Weekly, Week 1, and we are with Covington football coach Tyler Cates, and his second season is about ready to kick off this Friday at St. Henry. We are coming off of a rough outing in a scrimmage against Anna, but you know, it was a scrimmage, and we do have a lot of young guys, and you mixed in a lot of kids in and out of the scrimmage. Can you kind of give us a little recap on what we saw against Anna?
Yeah, it was definitely a tough night for us. We came out, though, playing very well offensively. We had that first drive where we marched it right down and scored. Had some great momentum going in there, and then we just, defensively, we just didn't play well, you know, on either side of the ball after that. Defensively, a lot of them are fixable mistakes, which is what we talked to the kids about, which is a good thing. But obviously, we wanted our kids to play better. Usually our kids tackle better than what they tackled against Anna. But you got to tip your hat off to that team. They have some really good running backs in there and monsters up front. And they, you know, I think they're going to have a very great season, or a very good season. Their coaches believe that. They got to stay healthy. It's a grind playing in the MAC. But I think that's a very good football team. They're fast, they're big, they're strong, and they're senior heavy, and that matters a lot. And for us, we're young up front, and it showed. And so that was good for us. I'm glad we scrimmaged them. It's good for us, good for our young linemen to face those kind of big guys and you know how strong they are, and it's motivation. I got to work harder in practice. I have to get stronger. I have to work on the little things, the fundamentals, and be better. So, you know, we've had a great week of practice. It was a tough Saturday morning, you know, watching film, but our kids handled it well, and I've seen them recharged, and our kids don't like to be beat, you know, and a good thing it doesn't count. But to our kids, you know, it does count, and it bothers them that they got beat like that, and that's what you want out of kids. And when you're used to winning, you know, losing's contagious just like winning is, and the kids understand that, and they're used to winning. They don't want to go to the losing way, and they don't want to have that feeling again. So I think the kids handled it well. But yes, like you said, it was a tough night for the Bucks. We had a lot of young guys out there. I mean, I think one time I looked out there, I was telling one of the coaches, and I looked over at my dad's on the sideline. I said, I think we have 8 sophomores on the field right now.
Exactly.
And, I mean, so we only had, you know, we sat a few kids out, but no excuses. A few older kids, some freshmen were mixed in there, some guys that never played a position, and we are hardly ever played in practice. We kind of threw them in there. We tried some different things, but no excuses. They just outplayed us, and it wasn't our night. And you know, I like I tell the kids all the time, it's how you respond to those type of nights to make you the team or make you the human being you're going to be. And I like how we've responded so far.
Yeah, and I was talking to a gentleman from Anna beforehand, even before the scrimmage, when we had gotten there, and he was pretty excited about this year, and they're excited over there for this year, and they're kind of where we were last year. We were senior laden last year. That's kind of where they're at this year, and it showed. They're going to be the real deal. But for us, the good thing about it is we're 0-0 going into week 1, and we get, a clean slate. And against a really good football team, St. Henry, of course, from the MAC. Can you talk a little bit about the Redskins?
Yes, we've got some film on them of their 2 scrimmages that they've had. I think Coach Luthman does a great job with those guys over there. They fly around on defense, and they played some young guys last year. They lost 2 really good inside linebackers and their running back and center, but they're as good as, I think as good as they were last year. Looking on film, it's hard to tell. We'll see. But they fly around. Anna's much bigger than what St. Henry, but St. Henry flies around on defense. Their defense causes a lot of problems. So we're going to have to be ready to, to pick up all those backer blitzes and try to make them pay for their aggressiveness. They're very aggressive on defense, and on offense they're sound. They replaced the kid that's playing quarterback, replaced the quarterback last year, I think a game or 2 after us. And he's got a lot of experience now, and then they got to the second round of the playoffs last year, so they have a lot of confidence coming into this year, and they're playing good football. You watch them on film, and they're not making a lot of mistakes, and they're a good football team, so we're going to have to be ready to go. And our kids are pretty fired up for it.
And their losses last year, they had 4 of them, but those losses came against us, Marion Local twice, and Coldwater, who both teams were in the state championship game last year. So. And did they have a lot of kids coming back from that team last year?
Yes, they do. I think they had 12 seniors last year, but I think only 4 or 5 of them played a lot. So I think that they were a junior-heavy team last year, if I remember correctly. They have a lot of seniors playing this year. And so, like you said, you're only as strong as your seniors usually. It's usually how it works, and they have a pretty strong senior class, and they have a really good quarterback, and they're a really good receiver and inside linebacker that we're going to have to be ready for.
And from us, our end of the spectrum, we are young, but we do have a really good senior class too. I mean, we've got some kids that have played a lot of football, and you're going to have them available in week 1. And I know last week you set some of the kids out a little bit. You let them play a series or 2, and you had them sitting out after that. But they'll be available for 4 quarters on Friday night. Hopefully that pays dividends for us.
Oh, absolutely. Our senior class was a solid class, like you said. It's not very big, but there's only 7 of them. But 5 of them have played a lot of football. So that's huge to come back with that kind of experience, and those guys believe and they know, and they were part of a good football team last year. So that leadership out there, I think, was missing Friday night against Anna, which we will have now, which should hopefully help bring our kids more confidence and just making plays that they're used to and weathering the storm. Because there's going to be highs and lows like there always is in those big games, and there's going to be some adversity, and a lot of those guys have faced that. And having Joe and Ethan and Ty and Zach out there, is going to be good to have those seniors out there leading our troops, and I'm pretty excited to have them back. We're not completely healthy. We have a few injuries, but overall we have most of our guys back to be ready to go for the season.
So what do we have to do? It's a tough place to play over there. They got a lot of tradition. Similar to us. They came over to our place last year, and it's a tough place to play at Covington, and we're taking a road trip over there. So what do we have to do? To be successful over there at St. Henry this first game of the year?
I think we can't get caught up into playing in a tough place. Every place has got to seem like a hostile environment to our kids. They just got to get used to it. And I think that the big key thing for us is not only coming out to have a great start. We were slow starters against Milton. We were fast starters against Eaton, fast starters against Anna, and then it dropped off. We have to be consistent. And that's the thing with this team. We're not hitting on all cylinders yet. We have a very talented football team. We're making a lot of mistakes, a lot of fixable mistakes. And so the key is just minimizing those mental miscues. You're a young team. Young teams usually make mistakes. But with having those other seniors in there, we won't be near as young as what we were. And we just have to fix mistakes. The team that usually holds on to the football and makes the least amount of mistakes, in terms of penalties, usually wins the football game. So, we just got to come out there and play confident and not hurt ourselves, and that's the thing. That last year's team, that group of seniors that I coached, we didn't make a lot of mental mistakes. We didn't hurt ourselves, and that's a lot of success happens when you do that. So we have to clean up a lot of things, and we've been emphasizing that this week in practice. It's the little things that are going to get us beat. And these young guys just have to grow up, and the older guys have to really step up and take that next step. When you're a senior, you have to take that next step, and you have to be that senior player. And so we need those guys to step up. Juniors, you have to step up, and these sophomores, down the line. But I think that if we come out fired up and not back down, and we stay consistent with our effort and stay consistent with our belief, we're going to be fine. Well, we're going to have to weather some storms. They're going to make some plays. That's a good football team across there. St. Henry's going to make some plays. That's just football. And how we handle, like I tell the kids, there's events in your life, how you respond to it equals the outcome. So if we don't respond well to a touchdown or to a play they make, then things aren't going to go well for us. But if we respond the right way, which is just go back and just try to fly around and hit them and keep coming and never give up and say, hey, we can do this throughout any play, we're going to be fine. But we'll have to see how our kids play.
And that's what you've been stressing, I know, a lot of times throughout, even back in July and August, some of your passive scrimmages into the full contact scrimmages is sudden change. When something happens, you've stressed sudden change. How are you going to react to it? And sometimes the kids have really responded well, other times they haven't, but the signs are there that they're able to respond.
Absolutely. We work on that in practice. We actually have a sudden change period, and we try to get the kids a little fired up and put their backs against the wall, put them in bad positions and see how they respond. But like you said, they've been inconsistent, but when they do handle it correctly, we're a dangerous football team.
Yeah.
Yes, we're a dangerous football team. But when not, then obviously when when we're inconsistent about that, nobody's going to win a lot of football games if you're inconsistent when you're playing the type of competition we're starting the season with, which is good for us. This competition is what we need, and so we just got to be more consistent with that, and I think we'll be fine. St. Henry's a good football team, and it's a good football team. A lot of teams on our schedule are, but so are we, and that's what we have to make sure we believe that, and I think our kids do, and I think that was a good wake-up call for us on Friday night.
Well, the Bucks take the trip up to Mercer County this Friday night. You can catch all the action on Bucks Radio, which you can find on BuccsFootball.com. Broadcast time is at 7:15. The game is at 7:30. Hopefully you catch Bucks Radio, and also hopefully you can get to the game. It should be an exciting one. For Ben Robinson and Coach Cage, that's it for this week of Bucks Weekly.
Thank you. Go Bucks.